Welcome to Shorty Supercoach and welcome to the Sydney preview. Going to take a look at the lock, the risk, the breakout, and the player who's no chance for my side at the Swans. And we're just tracking pretty nicely through these previews now. I'm still sort of thinking up exactly what I'll be doing post-preview. Probably some player profiles and, a few looks at my side and structures and things like that. So stay posted for that. But if you've got any ideas on what you'd like to see, certainly let me know. But who's a lock for the Swans? I've got Isaac Heaney, and that might be up for a little bit of debate. The easy option is probably to go Jake Lloyd. Lloyd's $591K, so he's pricey, obviously. His last 2 years have been dominant, 112 and 108. But just he was a little bit slow towards the last month or so last year. He still averaged in the 90s, but there were a few 80s in a row there, so probably can't read too much into that. His overall season was great, but he is pricey, I will say that, and there are a lot of options in the back line, a little bit cheaper. But what about Heaney? I think every year, we all talk about it. When's he going to get more midfield time? When's he going to explode? This bloke's going to be a superstar one day. Next generation Swan. Or is it going to be 2020? He's averaged 97.6, 97.5, and last year 94. Now, last year I predicted those averages to go up, or those numbers to go up into three figures. And again, I feel as if he will average three figures. But Lance Franklin going down with injury and being in doubt for round one, how does that affect him? It seems to be when Franklin was down and out, and Menzel as well, that sort of target in the forward line, Heaney tended to be the guy that they went to. Sometimes he would play a good game, other times he would go a bit cold, and it is a difficult position to play. So we want him running through the guts, and I think when he does do that consistently, he'll be a superstar. I really do. He's a very talented player. He's good on the inside. So track him very closely. But if he is unleashed, and just please, Swans coaching group, panel, whatever you want to call them, please do it, because we've been waiting bloody ages, Stop wasting him in the forward line. Yes, he's good occasionally, take a mark, kick a goal. Put this man in the guts, Kennedy's getting older. Parker's getting battered up, Put him in there. He's in my side at the moment, but we'll be tracking his pre-season pretty close. Now, the risk I found a little bit difficult. I've gone with Jordan Dawson. Now, he seems to be a relatively popular selection, at least from a few teams I've seen. His name has popped up a little bit. 467K, 86.2 average last year, sort of defender type. Very talented also, very exciting, and has played a number of roles. And I just want to find out exactly what role he is planning on playing in 2020. That's probably the main thing I want to look at, because he's certainly capable, but I just think the backline has a stack of good options. I've listed through the amount of premiums that I really think have a little bit of value. Sicily, Laird, Daniel, Doherty. I think all those guys are sort of slightly unders and premium players, not to mention all the other guys that are absolute guns. Zach Williams, Lloyd. There are a lot of options in the back line. So to go with the Dawson type, that's where it's a little bit risky. I've sort of said it before. I feel a bit more comfortable taking a risk in the forward line this year. I've got Greenwood at the moment. I just feel like there's a little less certainty in that forward line. Therefore, you can take a bit more of a punt. But I'm pretty sure Dawson's just defender eligibility. So let me know what you think on him. I've seen him play a bit of football, a range of roles. Just not sure exactly what he's capable of. So it'll be very interesting to track him. And the breakout contender is another absolute tempter, and it's Callum Mills. He's like, I feel as if we put him and Heaney in the same category all the time. A couple of young guns that have promised for a long, long time, and we're dying for him to just get in the bloody midfield. And I truly think if he does, he will also see a significant rise in his numbers. And we've probably talked about it for years as well, because he's been in that breakout category range for a long time. 77.2, 73.3, 79, 81.8 last year. He's nearly 23, 77 games. He's found his role across the half-back line. He's been solid. He's now in the leadership group. But will he be thrown into the midfield at some point? definitely. At some stage he will be. Will it be this season? We'll have to wait and see. He's 444k in your back line. Again, a bit like Dawson. They're around a similar price. I feel like their best footy is capable of taking it well into the 90s. But we're just going to have to track his pre-season real close. I really do believe he's going to be an absolute jet one day. But you'd be a pretty brave man to take it on this season, unless we get a fair bit of clarification through the practice games. But certainly one to keep an eye on. And no chance for my side. Well, I've got a couple of names: Luke Parker and Lance Franklin. I mean, Buddy, for obvious reasons. Yes, he's 394k. I did this list a little while back and mapped out a few names. So even before he got injured, I was saying, no chance. Don't take that risk. I think I did a player profile on him. He's in doubt for round 1 now, so it rules you out completely. But so don't be tempted by that, what is an unbelievably low price tag for such a star, but he's just about towards the end and the injury just adds to it. And Lukey Parker, I think he's about 570k, 105.1 average last year. Bit of a renaissance. I didn't expect him to average those sort of numbers. I thought he would probably stay around that high 90s, early hundreds, but he really perked up an extra few points per game and averaged pretty solid numbers. But I just think he's about at his peak. I know he's averaged 111 and 108, I think, was his breakout. But I just don't think he's the type of guy that we can bank on to be around that 110 and start with. He can definitely catch fire within the season. He might have a slower start and you might jump on him and he might average 110 for the last 14 rounds or something like that. And then his average, comes out to 104, 105 overall. I just don't think he's the sort of guy you start with, because I don't think there's much upside there. I think we're going to probably get, about that 100 to 105 average overall. But depends on the breakout. You might be able to pick him up when he's cheaper throughout the season. He's a very capable player and he can catch fire and score big, but I definitely wouldn't start with him. Part of a sort of aging Swans midfield, and personally I'll be hoping some of these younger types can take on more responsibility. So that's all I've got for the Swans. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope your Supercoach side is coming along nicely. I know for absolute classic and non-gold members, it came out the other day. I was lucky enough to have my mate Langers lend me his gold account, and now I've just got back into my old email and we'll just smash out Shorty style in my old one. But exciting times to have that out and about and getting stuck into it. So if you've got any ideas, any questions, any requests, put them through to the comments. And I'm not going to get around to absolutely everything immediately, but it's good to sort of note down what people are after and get a feel for it. So we'll be back with the last couple of player profiles, or club profiles, I should say, getting ahead of myself. So we'll knock them out over the weekend, and then we'll really start to smash it out. I've got holidays coming up, so I'm hoping to be able to continue producing about a video a day. So thanks again, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.